Hi, welcome to the June member meeting for the Placerville Arts Association. I'm Linnell Phillips. Thank you all for attending. Gwen Fox, as many of you will remember, as our March presenter, will be with us today to talk about our most recent member show, Collections. Unfortunately, Leonard James will not be able to present his photographic journal of recent travel, but plans to do that at a little later in the year. Leonard moved this weekend and his internet is not in until tomorrow. So I think that's a fairly good excuse. Before I introduce Gwen for her presentation, I'd like to mention that Vesla and I will be continuing to work on the format of the collection show online and hope to have a more representative format up in a week or so. Basically, there's a bug in the widget provided by Entry Thingy, and we're going to have to do a workaround to get the show the way we want it to look. But no worries, challenges present opportunities. Introducing Gwen Fox, who is a renowned international professional artist and art coach who empowers artists to recognize their unique artistic style, establish a marketing strategy, develop a strong success mindset while creating a life they love. Gwen was our judge for this most recent collections show and gave awards to many of you ladies and gentlemen here today. Gwen's work was selected to show with His Royal Highness Prince Philip in the famous Fourmoy Art Gallery, King's Lynn, England. She is also shown in the Catherine Lorillard Wolfe Art Club in New York, had one-woman shows in Hawaii, England, Washington, D.C., Taos, New Mexico, Charleston, South Carolina, and Florida. The National Security Agency commissioned Gwen to do 2 large paintings for their office in Fort Meade, Maryland. Her work is in many corporate and private collections. During the presentation, Gwen invites you to interact today. She will pause before we move between slides to give you an opportunity to comment as we move through our presentation. In addition to the awards, Gwen has asked to mention 4 others to be discussed at the end of the presentation. So I encourage you to hang around till the end, just in case you're one of the others. We'll ask you all to mute now unless you have a question. And if you have a question, mute, and at the end of the slide that she'll be talking about, we'll make sure there's a pause to ask you for any questions that you might have. And I'm going to turn it over to Gwen at this point, and I'm going to try to figure out how to get the PowerPoint presentation on your screen. So while Gwen speaks for a moment, I'm going to get the PowerPoint up.
Well, thank you. I feel like I know you guys after seeing your artwork. It was gorgeous and it was wonderful. You made it hard. You made it really, really hard. So it was a challenge trying to find, trying to not leave anybody out, but then leaving people out. But the one thing that I wanted to just say at the beginning is that, you know, those that didn't get an award, I don't want anybody to feel as if they have been rejected for the simple reason that this happens, and you know it. You guys are all seasoned people, and you know, I want you to reject rejection, because if somebody says no on, say, buying a painting or getting in a show, I just want you to say next, because that's what it takes. You know, Jack Canfield with Chicken Soup for the Soul, he was turned down, he was rejected 144 times. That's a lot of times to be told no to. And look at how popular and how fabulous it is. He told the guy that finally published him, he says, my goal, the guy said they'll be lucky enough to sell 20,000 books, because who wants good things to read a book of all just good things? And he said, I told him that my goal was to sell 1.5 million the first 18 months. Now, he said I was crazy. but he was able to sell 123 million in just North America alone, and over 500 million were worldwide. The one thing that failure teaches us is that it is not cheap. It takes work. And each one of you know that, because you've worked your asses off to become as good as you are. And so that's what made this show so good, is that your work was great. And I loved judging it just because the work was so good. So I thank you for that. So
Thank you, Gwen. I'm gonna start the slideshow.
all right.
Woohoo.
And now you guys, please interrupt anytime and ask questions, even if it's not your painting. I just would like for this to be a fun session as well. It's not stiff, okay? I'm not a stiff judge. Ron, this was your collection on diversity it's fabulous. I like your style. I like your colors. I love the woman. I think this is a great one. And you had some others too. So if you want to move on. Now, the other one that I really loved was the one with the umbrella. And I just read where blue is the #1 color globally in the world. And so, I find that very interesting. And you've got blue in here, but I like the movement of her, even though she's standing there, she's very still. Her hair is moving and it tells a story. Each one of yours tells a story. The one on the right, hey, it is in your face. Let me tell you how it is. And, to me, that's really awesome. I love it. But I particularly I love the design on this one, the diagonal. It's beautiful. And green is the second color, most favorite color in the United States. So, but Ron, congratulations. This is a beautiful, beautiful collection. I don't know if you're here or not. So if you're not, I'm sorry, I would love to have talked to you. So if anybody has a question, fine. If not, we'll just move on.
I just wanted to interject, and I was going to quote another of our members that's here today. Recently, Lucia Rothgab, that is on screen today, said to me that Ron is really perfecting his craft in this style that he has adopted. And he is such a prolific artist. It's amazing the amount of work that he generates. He likes to hang in coffee shops throughout the Sacramento and El Dorado County area and over into Placer County. It's amazing the energy that he has. And recently, one of the local universities in the Central Valley asked for permission to recreate one of his ballerina pieces for their auditorium, where they put on their various events and productions for their ballet department there. And I thought that was really a wonderful thing to have happen to him. And he's a relatively young man. So he's very exciting artist. And it's also a wonderful thing that he's a part of our group. It's hard to beat him, but it's a wonderful thing that he's part of our group. All right, I'm going to mute myself again and move on to the next artist, unless anybody else wants to say. Pamela would like to make a comment.
I just wanted, they're gorgeous, gorgeous pieces. I just wondered what the media, is it acrylic or?
Yes,
I would assume it's acrylic, is it?
Yes, his work is acrylic, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
If he wants to go national, he needs to get in touch with me because he's good.
Okay, I'll pass that along when I see him next.
All right, Connie, are you here? Darn, Connie's not here. I wanted to meet her. She's got an attitude. I love it. I love this. I love this cat. I just think this is like, I want to be in her brain because it must be very, very fun to be her, because I think this is, I love her work. I think it's great. I love the attitude. I love the way she does. I think Connie's work is fantastic. And it is just the attitude, the different viewpoint. I mean, I wouldn't think of this. And I always admire those who come up with something that's totally different. And she did. And I assume that she has a lot of medium or she has a lot of texture in here. So does anybody know Connie? No?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, we do know Connie. This is a bit of a departure from what she typically will show us. She's a pouring artist and she pours on aluminum.
Ooh.
And it is very durable. It can be put inside, outside. Gloria Vernon has a beautiful piece of Connie's hanging at her place outside. And I have a friend that recently bought another one of Connie's pieces and she has it hanging inside, but she's thinking about moving it outside. So it's typically more of a free form, a free flow, and what you would expect from a very extraordinary acrylic pour. And so seeing her interpretation of these animals is really, for me, fun.
Oh, it's a blast. And I mean, I love it. I just think it's great. And she could go really far with this, as far as I'm concerned. She could do really well. I love her work. It's great.
I'll tell her that she needs to get into the barnyard next and give us some
Yes,
horses and
get in
cows
there.
and ducks and chickens.
Yes, tell her to call me.
Anybody else want to say anything about the great Connie Jo Hardy? All right, we're going to move on to our next artist. This is another extraordinary artist.
Linda, are you here?
She does not seem to be with us today, but I'm sure she'll be very happy to hear the recording of this. She is the president of the organization that she preceded me in the chair. So this is our past president.
She is a busy woman. Well, I mean, you know, it would be really silly to say that you didn't like her work because she's a fabulous artist. I have a question for her. I would like to know, does she use airbrush? Do you know, does anybody here know?
I don't, oh, Gloria's saying yes, she does. Gloria knows more about it.
Yeah, particularly on one that's below this one. It looks like it's airbrush, but Linda knows her water. She knows exactly how to do it. It's beautiful. It's just, yeah, it's really, really, really nice. And so does she use acrylic? Is it oil or what? Do you know, Gloria?
Acrylic, yes.
She's acrylic. All of this is acrylic. Okay.
Yes.
Well, she's certainly an expert in the acrylic field and how to do it. So I give her credit. Darn good
The real
stuff.
area of expertise is scratchboard. She's done scratchboard for years and only recently deviated to slightly different. But some of them that I think are just plain paintings, when I get up close, they're even scratchboard.
Oh,
I have
really?
to be up close and personal to find out.
I
The
think
variety she does is just incredible.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I confused you. Yeah, she works in scratchboard. Yes, and then she uses acrylic on the scratchboard.
Right.
Yeah, sorry.
Wow.
yeah,
Go girl.
it gives it amazing depth.
Yeah, it really does. She has really perfected this, and yeah, it's fabulous.
She had told us early on that she likes doing the airbrush as a base. She gets some of her colors set that way so she can get going, but she does work into the scratchboard, adds color acrylic, then scratches it away, adds more color, scratches it away till she gets that reflection going. She's really got that beautiful.
Yeah, she does. It is very, very nice. So she's kind of perfected this craft and this different way of doing it. And so, hey, I give her credit. She's great.
Yeah, her work is absolutely amazing. And when she resigned the position as president at Placerville Arts Association, she says, I really want more time to work on my art. And I heard that, and the result of it has been this study of water. And it's an amazing study because I own a work from a few years ago of hers, and it's a cabin, and you can see her working on the reflections, but she's really moved to another level with what she's doing with her work right now. The Tahoe Pier is a very large work, a surprisingly large work. It was in our Motherlode show last year. That's the one on the right
Oh, the
of
right.
this
Yeah.
picture.
Well,
And
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, Gwen.
It is awesome to do a series versus onesies, what I call onesies, because doing onesies, you haven't really perfected it. It's kind of like Monet and his haystacks. To do a series really helps bring out the depth of who you are. You learn more and you go deeper, just like she's gone deeper.
And I think that this, based on having seen her art, I think this may be the most recent work that we see here, which we're going to talk about probably in more depth during another part of the presentation. But this once again has taken it to a different level than the reflections that we've seen up till this. And this is also the one that she entered, because I encourage people to enter the collections in the order that they wanted it presented. And this was the last one that she entered.
Yeah.
So that would, to me, indicate that this is likely the most recent piece of her work.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, because I've seen the others and not this one. So yeah, definitely new. The early ones were primarily animals with the fur texture, which lends itself to scratchboard more. So to go from, and that's what you see more often with scratchboard, but to go to this smooth thing, oh my goodness, so hard.
Well, and if you, and I'm sure Gwen remembers seeing this, but if you look at her collections, her full collections, her large collection that she put up into the show, you'll see that she actually starts with one of her insect graphics that she did, illustrations that she did when she worked for the state of California. And so you can see her progression as she moves through various stages of her work in her large collection. We won't be talking about that one today, but you can see that one on, once we fix the sorting of the large and small collections on the PAA website, you'll be able to see it there. But if you go in and pop into her name right now on the show, you'll see that insect illustration, and then you'll see where she's moved through her art progression from there.
Interesting. Awesome.
Yeah, going to move on now to the second place small collection. This artist is with us today, Gloria
I
Vernon.
know. And you sold your painting, young lady.
I did. I'm so excited. And
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was an old friend that I was in touch with through Facebook, which is a very good way to advertise, Linnell. I think that was a great idea. Yeah. But yeah, she saw this piece and said, oh, I gotta have it. So, we're gonna meet up. She doesn't live in the area, and she gets my painting. I'm so excited.
It's always good to have them go to a good home.
Oh yes, and you accumulate, and everybody knows that.
Well,
And it's nice to see you find a home.
You've certainly perfected your craft here.
Oh, thank you very much.
I have a suggestion though.
Great.
And look, you are so perfect in what you do. But if you ever want to just put a little pizzazz in there. Like on
Yes.
the pear,
Uh-huh.
the pear that you would like to see brought out, put a bright blue next to the pear.
Oh, yes.
That's,
Okay.
it's not there,
compliment.
it's
Yeah.
not, but it's an unexpected color.
Right.
And it will, yeah, along in there or somewhere,
Yeah, yeah.
it just wherever you want it. That is just a suggestion, because I think unexpected color is one of the best things you can do. Anybody.
Yeah. I that's really cool. Yeah, a surprise, as they say in
Yeah,
photography.
yeah.
Yeah.
And here's what happens. People they will walk by the painting and they'll catch that, and then they stop and they'll look at it because that's unexpected. That's not supposed
Yeah.
to be there. And therefore, then you get to talk to them, and then maybe you sell your painting.
Oh,
So
excellent.
you go, girl.
Thank you. Love the suggestion.
So, and yes, you're very, 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 very good, young lady. You really are.
Thank you.
Love it. Love it. I love the fact that you do realistic work, yet it's still soft. You've got a lot of depth in yours. And so this is good. I love your work.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, they all have a story, which is always a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Pardon?
It's a good thing to have a story.
Yeah, yeah. Like this one is a pear tree in the old orchard that my dad used to farm, and that tree's probably over 100 years old, that still blooms. It's just, pretty cool.
That is way cool. And be sure when you post things on your website
Mhm.
to include the story.
The story, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because that helps sell a painting.
yeah. Cool.
Doesn't have to be long. You
Yeah.
can make up a story too,
Yeah. Thank you. And then, yeah, I'm going to make a note of what you've told
All
me.
right, you go, Gloria.
Yeah. Next appearance.
I've seen some of these individual works before, and I always love Gloria's work. I especially like the blossoms, and this geranium I've seen in person, and it's amazing. I haven't seen the lanterns in person, and I find the reflections very intriguing. But what I wanted to say in general is this is a fine example of the way a collection grouped together can have a significant impact. I've enjoyed all of these pieces, but seeing them grouped together as work that she's done over time, it's to me very, very great to see. And I know that quite often she's awarded when she puts these things in individual shows, and I think it's well deserved. And I really appreciate you entering the show, Gloria. It's so great to see all these together as a collection.
Oh, very nice comment. Thank you.
Love it.
All right, I'm going to move on to the first place in small collections. She's not here with us today. I'll try to direct her to the recording because she always likes to hear the judge talk about her things.
Well, don't we all? I
Yes.
think, it helps us all. And all I can say, Shirley, is that if I love, love, love your work. It is fantastic. And I would go insane if I did your work because I'm a much looser artist, and your eye for detail is totally incredible. And I have to just admire it tremendously. And I have to tell you, I've never tried scratchboard. How many of you guys have tried scratchboard? Any? You have. I mean, well, I'm a little bit behind, guys. But then
I don't even know what it is.
Oh, I love you. I love you because I don't either. I mean, I know what they do and so forth, but it's just beautiful. I mean, this doily, it would be like, oh, please don't allow me to have to do that because that would drive me insane. It is perfect. It is beautiful. And now, do you think that's scratchboard as well?
That's colored pencil.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Everything else in this collection is scratchboard. That one is colored pencil.
Okay. Well, she's got that down, Pat. Look at that Cocker Spaniel. Absolutely gorgeous. But she knows horses. She knows the detail. She knows how to do it. And her work is incredible. And the fact that she's self-taught, you go, girl. You just go because you are good and you need to be out there. I hope you're getting in lots of galleries. So,
She's
yeah.
been in a national magazine as well first.
Yeah, that's great. Well, she should. This is very, very good. So, as I say, this detail is incredible. I love it.
Now we're moving on to our large collections. This is the large collection from Valerie By, and she is on screen with us today.
Cool. Valerie, raise your hand. Oh, I see you. There you go. I love your work. Your work is really awesome. And I just think like this, I look at this portrait of this woman and it's kind of like she's going to church. She's going to church. She's all dolled up. She's absolutely beautiful and she's happy with how she feels and how she looks. And the variety of which you have done your pieces, because you've got different subjects. I love the one on the left, I don't know what kind of flower that is, but I like it.
Chrysanthemum.
It's a what?
Chrysanthemum.
Oh, I haven't seen one with so much air in between his petals.
Spider, they call it a spider chrysanthemum.
Oh, I'd like to see one of those. But I really love your little bird. The next one, I love the background. I love the colors. I love your little bird. It's just like you can touch it, you can feel it, and it looks friendly. It's a really beautiful piece. I love it. So congratulations. Yeah. Do you have any questions, Valerie?
Not really.
Well, do you use
I just
mostly-
love doing all different mediums. So that's what I tried to show were a few different.
mediums? Is it mostly acrylic? And
No, it's alcohol inks and collage, and the dancer is glue gun and acrylic pour. And the bird is alcohol ink.
Alcohol ink, yeah. I coach a guy in Canada from that does the alcohol pours and in the ink, and I mean he's fantastic.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah, I haven't tried that either. I have several students that do that, and it's beautiful. I love your colors. You do have a very beautiful command for color.
I love color.
Yeah, yes. So congratulations. You've done a fabulous job. Keep painting, girl.
Thank you. I intend to.
Good, good. I'm glad.
I'm so happy that Valerie got honorable mention because I think it's amazing to see the span of her work.
Mhm.
There have been things written about Valerie here locally about her starting her art. When was it, Valerie? Was it in the 70s up here that you began actively participating in the art community and you continued?
Yes.
80s?
It was, I think, 73.
Right, right. And we became a certified or certifiable, as the case may be, nonprofit in 74. So the organization and Valerie's art career spans about the same time. And she's been involved with our organization for such a long time, and we're so appreciative of everything that she's brought to the organization. And everybody can also say hi to Pete there that's sitting with Valerie today for the meeting. Hey, Pete, how's it going? Good to see you. All right, we're gonna scroll through to the next collection, which is, oh my God, there's another Valerie here. We
I
didn't even see
know,
that
she
one.
did.
Collection.
Oh, I
did
missed that one.
great.
I'm so bad. Okay, so I really like the one on the right myself. The flowers just look like I could reach out and touch them.
Well, and you've got collage there with it, and I love it.
Yes, yes.
Well, those are actually, I haven't done a lot of acrylics, and those are my latest pieces. So I'm trying to do acrylic.
Very good. Very good. I like the fact that your pot went off the paper, because if it doesn't, you got to show what it sits on. It's so much easier to do it off the paper or off the canvas.
Yeah,
So yeah, great job, Valerie.
thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
then we have a large collection from Pamela Comfort, who is also with us today.
Pamela, where are you? Oh, there you are. All right. Okay, I love your work. You do pastels, and I love pastels. May I make a suggestion?
Please.
On the yellow one, I love it. It's beautiful, but I would just put a few touches of magenta and purple here and there. And put it where you really want the eye to go, because in nature, it's always yellow and the purple, because it's opposite of the color wheel. And so I think that would really pop the yellow even more. But I mean, it's perfect like it is. But I really like it. Now, the one that I love the most, is this you painting or somebody else?
It's somebody else.
Well, it just is perfect, because you can just see they're painting, they're taking a deep breath, they're enjoying themselves. And I love this. It's a story that we can put ourselves into and enjoy.
Yeah, the guy never even turned around. I took a photo.
Well, you did a good job in translating it into a painting.
Thank you.
Yeah, is this acrylic or oil?
These are all pastel.
Oh, that's right. They're all pastels.
Yeah.
You've really done a good job on that one, because it looks more like an oil to me than a pastel. So good job. Yeah. These are great. These are really good. I like them a lot. Look at that. Look at the softness that you've gotten on the right one. The softness of the grass. I mean, I could just, that color is just luscious. I love it. I love it.
This
Yeah,
is the same scene, 2 different ways.
Okay. That's good to know. I like that. I like your reflections. They're very nice. Are these large, or how big are they?
They're about 9 by 12 or so.
Okay.
I started painting in 2019, and this is the first show I've ever been in. So it's pretty fun.
Yes. Well, you just keep going, young lady.
Thank you.
Yes.
I was going to mention this was the first time that I've had the opportunity to see Pamela's work, and I'm very impressed and look forward to seeing you in more of our shows. And I'm sure the other artists do too. You're a great addition to our member shows, and thanks for participating in this one, Pamela.
Oh, thank you, Lynette.
Really nice. I especially like your two different takes on the view here.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
And therein lies the story.
Yes, yes.
So be sure and tell that.
And I believe that Carrie Repking is also with us here today, and
Yes,
she's
Carrie.
third place. Yes.
All right. Well, if I'm not mistaken, go down one. Yes, I love your cat. It is so hard to do black and white, and you did it so beautifully. What is this, just all charcoal, Carrie? You'll have to unmute.
She typically works in mixed media, and so
You can unmute her now.
oh, let me see if I can find her. Okay, let me try to unmute her.
Oh, well, maybe not.
There we go.
Oh, there you are. All right. Is this a charcoal, or what is the black and white, Carrie? Okay, we still don't hear her, so. That's okay, Carrie. That's, I love it. I think the cat is perfection. Now, go down one more. Okay. Is it okay if I give you a suggestion?
She left you
Okay.
a message in chat.
She did. What'd she say?
And she had to take her husband to the airport and had to leave early, so.
Oh, okay. You can't see my arrow, can you? Can you can't see my arrow, I don't think.
That was Pamela that left early. Carrie isn't.
Yeah, Carrie's here.
No note.
Okay, Carrie, I love your work. It's very, very busy. It's very interesting. It's intricate. It's so forth. But my suggestion is, do you see on the left, you have some big quiet shapes, like on the lower right. And that causes the eye it gives the eye a place to rest. And that is a really good thing. Now, the other thing to remember, and this is for everybody, a person or people, numbers and writing are always the center of interest, no matter where you put it. And so, Gary, you have writing at the top and writing at the bottom, which is fine. But I would take a little wash and go over the one at the bottom so that it kind of goes away. You want to see it because it balances it. It's nice, but just push it back a little bit. And therefore, the one at the top is going to be the main show. And so that would be really good. And then on the one on the right, if you would calm down the bit on the left, then you could take the viewer to that gorgeous blue shape to the upper right. Yeah, because it's your colors are great. I need a place to rest. And that would be great. And if you go down one more, I'm going to show you one more thing. No, one more then. Maybe it's not her. Yeah, it is. That's what I thought. Okay, because you have on the one on the left, you have the writing, and then on the right, you have a circle. Okay, they are both pulling my eye. And so I'm wrestling between the two. So considering that letters are more important, and besides it's red and it's gorgeous, I would put a little wash over the right side of the circle, leave the left side of the circle as it is, because then that would take the viewer over to the red. Yeah, and so this is a gorgeous piece, and the one on the right is a gorgeous piece. You really have done a fantastic job. You know, I love your work. Keep going, girl. If you've got any questions, you just email me.
All right,
Okay.
well, Carrie is also a somewhat recent addition to our art group, and I've had the opportunity to see her work in a few of our shows now, and I always enjoy it. And she also has had fairly good luck with selling pieces of her artwork. So it's
I can see why.
exactly. And she participated in our art tour last year. And I had the opportunity to stop by her studio and see more of what she does. And it was much like seeing a large collection. It was a wonderful experience to get to go and visit her there.
Well, I love her selection of colors. They're beautiful.
Yeah. I've seen other pieces where she's inserted things like passport pages and postage stamps and things that just take you to a whole nother world. So it's very interesting to look at the different pieces of art from Carrie.
Yeah, there's your story, Carrie.
And this is Leonard James, a photographer, an intrepid photographer, because photography takes less room in your house than woodworking. So that's Leonard's backstory.
All right. Well, Leonard is I love the one on the left, the one with the red feet. I will tell you a very, very quick story that this reminds me of, is that I lived in England and flew to East Tennessee to be with my mother as she was dying. And I stayed in the hospital room with her. And as time went on and we were talking and laughing and so forth, I finally asked the question that I really wanted to know. And the question was, is there anything you regret? Now, to me, that was a deep question, but the answer came immediately, yes. And I thought, oh boy, I wonder what it is. She says, I never bought a pair of red shoes. And I thought, really? You've had a lifetime and that's your regret. And I said, why didn't you buy a pair of red shoes? She said, well, they just weren't practical. So I flew back into Heathrow, went to, my husband picked me up and I said, drop me off at Harrods. And he dropped me off and I walked in and I thought, I don't care what they cost. There was a pair of red shoes. They fit. I bought them. I said, this is for you, Mom. And, my husband says, what'd you get? I said, a pair of red shoes. He says, we stopped for a pair of red shoes. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And so I love the red feet. I think it's fabulous. The photographer, Leonard, it's Leonard or Leonard. Leonard. Okay. Well, he has an eye for perfection. So he's very good. I love it. I love his hummingbird. I think it's down one. No, down one. There it is. I love that one. I think that is awesome. And the one on the right, don't you think is rather arrogant? Hello. Hello. So I love it. Okay. All right.
Going back to Leonard for just a moment, it's been really awesome to see his nature photography over the years. He was in my studio tour gallery with me a couple of years ago, and he had a whole wall of my gallery hung with his artwork. And I spent 2 weekends with him, and it was lovely, not only to see his work, but to get to know him as a person. And I actually have one of his pieces hanging right over my desk in front of me. So it's there most days, and it's a grebe with a baby grebe on the mom's back. And it's a lovely piece. And it's always nice to not only see the piece, but to think of Leonard when I do, because he's a really sweet man. And he's been at Iran's studio also. And I think we both agree, he's just a really sweet man. So
That's awesome. But
it
you know,
is, it really
can kind
is.
of tell he is because of the way he positions. He loves the birds. So I think
And really all kinds of wildlife, but birds really do seem to be the thing that he really captures so very well. He'll also do some landscape photography, but once again, I think it's the birds that really are amazing.
that they are amazing.
So now we'll move on to the first place large collection, which is Cynthia Hayes. I don't believe she's here with us today, but once again, hopefully she will be able to watch the recording and see your comments.
Well, I like the fact that she does different perspectives of animals. I do dogs, and I don't know if anybody has seen any of my dog paintings, but I don't do bodies. I do just the face and the eyes. That's what I consider the thing that I'm interested in. But she has done different positions, and it's hard. You've got to know perspective and so forth. So I mean, the cat's just hilarious. These are just great. And we've all seen a cat do this. I've seen a dog do this, and I'm thinking, how do they do that? But I love her work. It's really a beautiful, beautiful piece. She's a very, very good artist, and she tends to get the animal in a non-traditional look, feeling. So I like her work. Do you know, is it acrylic or what do you know?
I would be guessing on this one. Gloria might know more if she's still on. I think that we may be looking at more of a variety of media from
Okay.
her.
Okay. Well,
I
that's
think
good.
some of them are pastel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, keep it up. Keep it up, Cynthia.
And I think it really speaks to her love of animals that she's titled her collection Kids.
Yes. Yes.
She recently sold a second home in Costa Rica, and the big deal was that they relocated the dog back from Costa Rica up here with them, so that since they were selling their place, Amber could move back to the States with them. And so he's now here. I haven't seen his portrait yet in pastel, but I'm sure that's to come because he's now living with her. And she's a crazy lady. She's still roller skating. So
You go, girl.
we all hold our breath, and as she spins around, sometimes the tennis court or the track or the roller rink.
Well, you know, I have my son was in Costa Rica and found a little dog that somebody threw away, and he brought it home. Guess who has it? I do.
Good for you, Mom.
He's a sweetheart. You may see him walk through. He's like 13 pounds. And then I have German Shepherds, and they all get along.
Super. Well, we have our honorable mentioned individual awards. This is Gloria Vernon's October Geranium.
All right, we meet again, Gloria.
Hello.
Hello. Well, you know, I don't know what to say other than then you've got this down pat, young lady. You've really, I love this one. I love this one because you enter the painting and you know where the center of interest is, yet everything else is still not only just supporting, but it's placed beautifully, but it's subdued, but it's interesting. It's very interesting. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah,
Yeah,
I enjoyed doing that piece.
I bet you did. I bet you
I
did.
don't think it's alive anymore. So at least I have a painting of it.
Well, it's a good thing you did it when you did, girl.
Yeah.
So, no, congratulations. This is beautiful.
And thank you for your comments. I've been listening very intently to all the comments you've been making about the work, and it's just, you have a really good eye and perspective to share. It's
Well,
very
thank you.
enlightening.
Thank you. You know, the critiques of everybody's work is as important as the critique of who's ever that it's the individual work. You learn so much by listening
Yes.
intently to the other critiques, like this one, where the eye goes in and how it goes up to the center of interest and how it's supported. It's great. So again, congratulations. I love
Thank
your
you.
work.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, is Sherry here?
I didn't see her come in today.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think this photo is awesome. Usually what people do with sunflowers is they paint it and the center is in the middle, and then it has all of the petals going around. This is folded over. I particularly love the one that's on its way out in the back because it supports, it's back there, but you know, it's in a different phase of life. And this one, this photograph is just superb. I love it. I have to say, I haven't seen a sunflower with this many petals. It's got a lot. It's got a lot of petals. And to be able to find one like that, whew, that's awesome. I love it. She's a very good photographer.
And she's such Sherry Lynn Morris does such a wide range of art. She does some mixed media work, and she also does some very charming acrylic paintings, fantasy type animals. And I'm sure that with this photograph, this flower just caught her eye, and as an artist, she was drawn to it. It was more
yes.
being drawn to it as an artist than drawn to it as a photographer. It just pulled her in, and this has been what I have seen from her photography. This would be indicative of the way that she works as a photographer. It will be something that will really draw her in that moment, and then she'll capture the photo of it. And I don't consider her the same type of photo safari guy as Leonard. I'm seeing her more moving through her normal environment and seeing the things that are outstanding around her. And I think that this really shows it. And I agree with you that it is an amazing flower. When I put it into the slideshow, I'm like, I have to agree with Gwen on this one. This is a really, really great photo.
I like the fact that she has done a very intimate moment, and she didn't pass it by. It stopped her, and she took time to record it.
And now we all get to see it and enjoy it.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Thank you, Sherry Lynn Morris. Even though you're not here, we really appreciate
We
you.
loved your work. Well, there's Connie Joe back. Oh my God. And look at this dog. I love it. I'm a dog person. So of course I love this, but I love the expression. It's kind of like, you want to play? Come on, let's go. Come on. You want to play? Let's go. You know, you can feel this dog. You can feel the energy. You can feel the excitement. And Connie Joe, I want to be part of your life because you've got humor, and I love it. So congratulations. Cynthia, this was one of my favorite pieces for the simple reason that there again, she puts the dog in a different position. There's not a dog around that doesn't like, well, no, DOG doesn't like, the one from Costa Rica doesn't play ball, but he's little. But big dogs all play with the ball, and this is a tennis ball. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful painting. I just have to give you credit, Cynthia. This is gorgeous. I love it.
I really enjoy her work with the reflection here, the way that she's got the nose reflected down in here, and even
Right.
a little tad of it here, and the ball reflected in the water. It's a nice study of water, and I almost feel the roughness of the water behind the dog in contrast to the smoothness of the water in front of the dog. And I enjoy that very much. And congratulations, Cynthia, on your awards in this show. I'm really, really happy you entered your pieces. And I think that the collection really showed where your heart is.
Yep, you can tell that dog is really using those legs.
Yeah, for sure. I believe that our artist for the first place individual award of Voto Sante is with us today. I did see her. She has a slow internet connection, so she may be dark screened. Oh, there
I'm
she is.
here.
She's
I'm
here.
There you are. I
here.
love your work, Carolyn.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. I love the fact that, okay, I know which glass is the center of interest, but what amazed me was how you supported it with all of those glasses. You love wine as much as I do. You're a woman after my own heart there. I mean, I think this is awesome. I love the fact that it's got collage in there. And you've used the newspaper, and it's got a lot of depth. It's got a lot of interest. I can wander through this and I'm not ever bored because I see things new all the time. So is this, what medium is this, Carolyn?
The paint that was used was acrylic, but there's also some collage, as you said. There's some transfer where I took colored toner copies and
Mhm.
gel medium and use that as a transfer, and then you rub off the paper on the back, and that's kind of where I start, because you don't get a perfect transfer, a perfect image, but it just sort of helps me get a jumping off point.
You bet.
And then the paint is acrylic, which I don't really love acrylic paint, but it lends itself.
Have you tried oil?
I do paint in oil. These just seem to work better with acrylic, I think, because of the drying, the quick drying.
The quick drying, and it's
Yeah.
very intricate, and it would be harder to do, I think, with a medium that you had to let dry in between.
Yes, definitely. And I can get some, I don't know what you call it. I can thin it out and go over tops of things and have a little more
Right.
variety in the color.
Right.
This one is sold. I've sold all the pieces like this that I've done, and I have people that want more. So here I go. More
Well,
wine.
I think you need to do more.
Well, I just will when I feel like it.
Now, well, yeah, because this is a series that works and it's really beautiful. So congratulations. This is awesome. But I really love your colors.
Thank you.
It's you're very rich, very even though this is busy, it's got enough resting places in it that makes it beautifully done.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome. I love it. Keep going, girl.
Thanks.
Carolyn also does amazing work in colored pencil. But you are right about the whole wine theme. She and I worked a pop-up together a few weekends ago, and the lady walked up early on to the booth and zoomed right in on the wine glasses that she had there. And that was, I think, her first sale of the evening was that piece. And she's been a wonderful addition to our organization. She also is our membership chairman. She keeps track of who's paid and who hasn't paid. So
So pay up.
pay up, pay up. She's also in training to produce one of our member shows next year. So we're very appreciative of both her work and Carolyn herself.
You go,
Thank you.
Carolyn, you got a lot of accolades there.
Thank you, Linnell.
Welcome.
right.
And we have our best of show, the amazing Linda Heath Clark, Pond Lilies.
Well, I'm sorry she's not here because I would really like to ask her some questions. So this is a perfect example of a beautiful design. And you would enter from the right, you go up, you go over, you come down to the center of interest. It's beautiful. It's just glorious. She has another yellow one to the right, but it's smaller. This one's more, I just find this design beautiful. And so I'm sure she's used her air gun for this background. I don't know, but
It's so precise. It's almost hard to believe it's not a photograph.
yeah. And I mean, I just admire the design and what she's done and her ability to pull this off with such a smooth surface. Talk about peaceful. This is glass water. So it's gorgeous. Give you credit, Linda. This is awesome. But this has been, now is this, it says it's scratch board. So, but you guys said she did other things with the scratch board. So it's not just one thing. Because this can't be, she's got to have come in over this to make this so smooth.
It's interesting when you know it's scratch board, and yet it has such a surface smoothness to it. She really has taken the art of scratch board to a different level than what we've seen. While Shirley Isola has that intricate detail with her work, Linda's work just brings this level of realism to it that it tricks the eye. It tricks the eye into.
How big is this piece?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a fairly substantial piece, but I'd have to go back and look at the measurements on it. She started working pretty large. There was a time where she was working in really small pieces, but she started working larger. So I'm guessing this is going to be at least 20 by 20.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think it's really a large piece. I'm going to guess, let's see, 20, well, maybe 30 by 40 or something like that. It's really a large piece. And I remembered a comment that she'd made about how she creates her really smooth textures. Well, she uses like sandpaper, she uses steel wool. So it's not just a blade that she's using. And that's how you get those really smooth areas that she's talking about. I think that's what she's doing.
Well, she knows what she's doing, doesn't she?
Absolutely. She has such an amazing eye and the ability to bring it forward and share it with us. I look forward to seeing this one in person. I'll be really surprised if she doesn't enter it in our Motherlode show. And I'm sure if she does enter it in our Motherlode show, she will get juried in with this piece. And so that will be perhaps our opportunity to see it in person.
Right. That's right. So now you guys see how hard it was for me to do this with all of these beautiful pieces of art.
There were over 250 pieces of art entered into this show. So we gave Gwen quite a job to make her decisions and to have to consider collections in addition to individual pieces. It was really a bit of a challenge thrown at her. I'm glad that she was willing to participate with us in our crazy ideas and make it come to fruition that we've got this really great show. She did want to mention a few other artwork she
I
thought
did.
that she'd like to make comments on. So I'm gonna start with our
Yeah,
other
there's-
mentions right
Yeah,
now.
there's 4
And-
of them.
This happens to be one of my photographs, Eggs with Color.
I love this. I love the design. I love the photograph. I love the egg colors, and I love what you put it on. To me, this just stopped me in my tracks. I love it. And I have to give you credit. You've done a really good job. And you guys better love this woman, because she has put up with me doing all the wrong things and writing her and saying, what do you mean? What? You know, she's put up with a lot. And so I have to give her credit. And I had no idea that this was her work, because she didn't give me any names. And so it was awesome. So congratulations. I love your work.
Thank you. This is the bench that I clean brushes on.
Ah, well, there you go.
Yeah. All right, so we have others mentioned. This is a piece by Darby Patterson, who works in bronze. Right click left.
Well, number one, I don't think bronze gets enough attention and notoriety in shows sometimes. And I love this. It has a story. I feel the emotion of this man. I don't know what he's looking at. It looks like maybe it's a flower or something. You may be able to tell me, because I think you're here, Darby. And
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
yes, we
Okay,
can.
so actually I called this right click, left click. In his right hand, he has a rose, and in his left hand, he has a mouse. So it was a mouse with a rose, and just sort of a comment on attention and distraction and the choices that you have to make when you're all cut up in the digital world.
I love it. And see, that is a fabulous story. So be sure and post that when you post this image on your site.
Yes, thank you for the suggestion. I will do that. And
Yeah.
also, I think this is one that kind of has to be viewed from the front. And that's the way you can kind of see what he's doing. I mean, the dimensions on this make it difficult to, be able to look at sculpture and see a whole thing from a side view.
And I love the patina that you were able to get.
Well, I sure wish that was me, but this is a patineur that is so wonderful that I ran across, 15 years ago, and he was so experienced. His work is just beautiful.
Well, this is beautiful, Darby. So congratulations.
Well, thank you. And thank you for educating me about the paintings. I mean, this has really been fascinating. I've been sitting here working, this is Clay, and listening and looking at the pictures, and to hear the complexity and the painting and the techniques that people use. I mean, I'm just in awe of that. So thank you for the education.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
And now we have a work from one of my favorite artists, Lucia Rockdev. She's here with us today. This is Path in the Afternoon.
I think this is absolutely lovely, because you have the path is in shadow. You know where you're going. You know where the sun is shining. That's your center of interest. You have done such a beautiful job. And I love the fact that you put it on loose and you left it alone. It's just, yeah.
Thank you.
Now-
Thank you. It was fun to work loosely. I love it.
It's just, the problem is that what we do is we're up close to the painting and we put something on and we think, oh no, I've got to smear that a little bit. No, leave it. Look at the freshness of this. This is fabulous. It's got a feeling, and I love this feeling. So this is why I love this one.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah. Do you have any questions?
No, I appreciate your feedback on it.
Well, just keep doing more like this.
Okay.
I've heard stories about Lucia and her paintings, and sometimes they happen quicker if she wants a cup of coffee or this and that. But she is always one of my favorites and often gets an award at our various shows. I happen to have one of her paintings proudly displayed in my house in a place that I see it quite often, and she and I will keep private where that is. But I appreciate her work very much. We have one final others mentioned. This is Sherry Lynn Morris, the same as the photographer of the sunflower that we discussed. It's called Wonderland Welcome, and it's one of her mixed media creations.
Well, I love the humor, and I think that pieces like this are so often overlooked as craft, but this isn't craft. This is fine art, and I just wanted to commend her for putting this in, and it brings me great joy just to even look at this, because it's beautifully done. I mean, the amount of work that it took to do this, I'm amazed. I think this would be a good conversation piece. You know, if you had it, it would be a great conversation piece. I mean, why not? Put that out and everybody's going to look at it and they're all going to have an opinion. Be it good, be it bad, it doesn't matter. Everybody has an opinion, right?
And I think that the art, as you say, the fine art of assemblage is really coming into its own at this point.
It is.
It's so green in that it reuses things that would just have hit the landfill, been thrown away,
Yep.
puts them together in a new and unique fashion, often putting a smile on our face, sometimes causing us to ponder. Sue Wickersham does assemblage type work, and sometimes I find myself falling into her work because of the serious nature of the work. And so you have the juxtaposition of something like Sherry Lynn's very frivolous and joyful work, and Sue's sometimes really intense, emotional, evocative work. It's so interesting to me to see that both are being rewarded in competition and considered fine art. And I have a real appreciation for Sherry Lynn. Her studio is very close to where I live, and it's just filled with things like this. And so if she is on art tours, I encourage you all to swing by and take a look at what she's got there, because it's pretty amazing. I've also seen some of these types of work entered at the Mill Station, where we'll be having our Motherlode show this year. Thank you for doing the other mentions, as well as judging our collection show for us, Gwen. It's been really awesome to work with you. You were not a problem to manage. You were quite easy to herd, much easier than cats. And I would love to do another show with you in the future. We're hoping to continue to be able to put on at least one online show a year. And it's a wonderful thing to be able to work with a judge that's not in our backyard. So thank you so much.
I have loved doing it. And if I can be of any assistance to any of you guys, if you have questions, please feel free to email me or call me. And just keep up the good work, because you guys are awesome.
Thank you, Gwen.
Doing this.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you all. Well, I'm going to put you all through a few announcements here before I let you go and get on with your Sunday. Thank you all for joining us, though, today. We do have our call to artists on our website for our 56th National Motherlode Art Exhibition. That call to artists will close around mid-September. So think about what art you want to enter in this year's show. Our venue will be the MACC in Rancho Cordova. It's a beautifully supported, community-supported gallery in the old Mill Station. Our coordinators and co-chair for this year's event are Sue Wickersham and Donna Nelson. Both are here with us today. I'm not sure. Yes, Sue's there and Donna's there with us. Any questions about the show can go to them. You will find a lot of your questions, though, answered on the prospectus at our website. This year, there are at least 2 new features for artists. We're going to be paying significantly less commission this year if you sell your art. And we will not have to bring the snacks this year because the gallery is doing that for us. The chair people have a lovely evening reception planned for us for this show. And it will be at the start of the show rather than at the end of the show, and it will be an evening reception. So I hope you'll all mark your calendars and plan to join our guest judge for the event, Barbara Burge, who will be offering a critique the evening of the reception. And maybe Sue's husband, Eric, will be our bartender for the event. So, oh, yeah, I think it's already set up. So there we go. The deadline to register for art tours has closed. If any of you are jonesing and desperate to be on art tours, speak up now because you might still be able to get your application accepted. We have our next organizational meeting June 21st at 2 p.m. There is a Zoom link for that at placervillearts.com. Check placervillearts.com for paint out opportunities. And next month, our meeting, July, will once again be a Zoom meeting. Our presenter is Julie Mazzoni, who is a stained glass and bead mosaics artist. And our challenge for the month will be mosaics. Bring your interpretation of a modern or traditional mosaic to share. And if you want to email me a photo of your mosaic a few days before the meeting, I'll put them into a PowerPoint presentation, just like we had for Gwen today. If you want to screen share during the meeting, we can do that as well. And if you simply want to hold your mosaic up in front of your face, like we sometimes do, that works too. Just come and share what you have with us. In August, we have 2 members presenting. Maggie Kasner will be talking to us, as well as Matt Harlan. So we look forward to their presentations at the August meeting. Sue Wickersham is retiring from the program chair position. We need a volunteer to step up to take on scheduling our presenters for our monthly meetings. We do have judges' critiques happening at some of the meetings, so we're looking for someone to arrange somewhere between 6 to 8 presentations a year for us. And those can be set up in advance. You don't have to be present at the meeting. We just need somebody to reach out to artists like Gwen Fox, who are willing to talk to us, or someone like Darby Patterson, who will be sharing more about her project with us later on in the year to set up those meetings. So if you're interested in that position, let either Sue or me know, and we'll be happy to onboard you for that. Our next board meeting is going to be Friday, July 8th. That will be from 10 to noon at the Rayleigh's Placerville Conference Room. We also have a Zoom link to those meetings, so if you cannot attend in person, you're welcome to come into that meeting on Zoom. And attending the board meetings is one of the best ways to figure out how you might fit in the future with Placerville Arts Association. For instance, Carolyn Cunningham attended a board meeting about a year ago, told us she was just there to observe, that she wasn't really interested in doing anything, and that her husband would kill her if she did. And she's still alive. Her husband is also still alive, and she's now our membership secretary and also going to produce one of our member shows next year. So that could be your future too. Please feel free to join us at our board meetings, either virtually or in person. And don't forget to register to donate to the Art Land Back auction that's coming up in September that benefits one of our local Native American tribes. They're attempting to recover some historic land. And that land has been deeded to American River Conservancy at this point. And if the tribe can raise $20,000, $25,000 that to improve the road, that land will be deeded over to them for the tribe and for a ceremonial type of land. So I'm putting a link in the chats that will take you to both the website to donate to that event. The event is in October. Donations are due in September. Registration is appreciated early. And then there's also a link for tickets if you'd like to attend the actual event, which will be at Wakamatsu Farm in October for the auction for the land back. That's what I've got. Would anybody else like to add anything at this juncture, or shall we call it a day?
Thanks, Gwen. I just want to say thanks. That was a great education. I love hearing judges' critiques about art.
Oh, thanks. Well, it's good to see you, Sue.
You too. Thank you. I'm so glad you came back to us. Come back more.
Okay.
Extremely
Anytime. I love
appreciative.
you guys. You guys are awesome.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you, Gwen. All right, well, thanks you to all for who have attended, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. And if you're a father, I hope you get a cookie or a bouquet of flowers or something. And if you're not a father, get yourself a bouquet of flowers or a cookie or something. So let's all enjoy it. I do apologize for the dogs barking in the background. They're a little uncontrollable. I have two 2-year-olds right now out there and a 1-year-old. So it's a little bit of pandemonium in the background, but everybody seems to be having a good day and no one has killed one another out there either. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Enjoy your afternoons.
Bye.
I'm going to shut the recording off now.